This is a confirmation bias. That's what this is. This is how fucking stupid he is. He thinks that because 77% of them are approved, it just means that every single one of them are false. How dumb do you think your audience is to believe this shit? Like, really? This is a nothing sandwich. Like, bringing this up means absolutely fucking nothing because it doesn't prove that you were just given a protective order, stripped of your Second Amendment rights, and everything just because they felt like approving it. You're dumb.
All right. I was gonna do a long form video on this, but I don't know. I really don't have the time to because I'm actually working on a long form video for the ABBA and Sneeko debate that they had. So I wanted to just get this done and throw this out here. But if y'all know, Tectone has been offline. Well, not really offline. He just hasn't been streaming. He's been posting videos to YouTube, but he's been off because he's had an ongoing court case and he lost it and has a protection order put against him by Pikachu. So I think we're gonna watch this video by the Internet Versus. I think that's the channel name, but it's the Internet Verse Tectone's response, and it's basically his first stream back and talking about everything that happened, and is gonna try and debunk some things, which I really don't think he's gonna debunk. But let's get into it.
Over the past few weeks, we've been covering the developments on Tectone's court case. And earlier this week, Tech went live with a response talking about the entire situation. In the response, he confirms he lost, goes after Mizkif, talks about his schizophrenia diagnosis, and more. In reaction to this, some online criticized Tectone, saying that he is either obviously lying or just trying to downplay the situation, clashing with Tectone's defenders who argue it's just a civil case, and Tectone himself, who said it was more just a vibe check. There's a lot.
And that right there is the crazy part. Calling a civil case a vibe check is crazy to think about because, I mean, if it's a vibe check, then why do you have basically a restraining order put against you and you're not allowed to own guns for the next 10 years? I mean, I think it's a lot more of lot less of a vibe check than you think it is, but it is what it is.
Lots to get into, so let's jump in. Welcome to the Internet Versus Tectone's response. It starts when he tweets out this clip with the caption, "Tectone confirms he lost his court case."
A lot of people want to act like they're lawyers these days, okay? They do. What is a civil case? Spoiler alert, guys. I lost a civil case. I did. Hey, I did. And we're going to talk about, I lost. It's true. And we're going to talk about everything. What is a civil case? So a civil case is essentially a vibe check to where they see, how were this guy's vibes?
That's crazy to think of. And I should have stated this at the beginning, but let's be kind of clear on this. I actually was a fan of Tectone at one point. I mean, if you would have watched, or if you would have saw me back then and you saw my Twitch channel and stuff like that, all my stuff linked back to Asmongold and to Tectone and to those guys and to Nux. I mean, like, I was hardcore deep into liking these guys and I watched everything that they put out, but it's just been like the last few months, man, it's been kind of unbearable to watch. I mean, Asmongold's kind of been dragging. I mean, I don't even get any notifications from Nux anymore, but I don't really care. And I keep getting these videos on Tectone and it's basically him just, talking shit to Mizkif or him trying to defend himself, which I think is kind of stupid.
Unfortunately, I'm fucking retarded. Yeah, L for
yeah,
me.
kind of are.
I'm fucking retarded and I run my mouth way too much. One thing that I've learned, and throughout this slideshow, there's going to be consistent change. I am going to start tweeting 95% less. I uninstalled Twitter on my phone, and I'm not going to tweet for 1 week. Yep. Because a civil case isn't determined by proof. It's determined by vibes.
That's where you lose me. That is where you lose me, my guy. Oh, yeah, you don't have to have any proof. to lose a case. Okay, prove that. What? So you're saying that because you lost it's an automatic assumption that you lost because of vibes and not because of proof? Because according to you, Tectone, when you were talking about all this, you claimed that you had lawyers and enough evidence to where this was going to be a nothing. So apparently their proof outweighed all of the proof that you were so confident on winning with that you lost. And if you think that a judge is going to sit there and cause you to lose a civil case because of what you post on your Twitter, you're crazy and you're fucking stupid.
And usually the way that court cases work for like criminal cases is you need to have proof to prove that someone's guilty. But in a civil case, I needed proof to prove that I'm innocent, which was hard and I'm a bastard.
Okay, you have to have proof that you're innocent, whether it's a civil case or a criminal case. Doesn't matter. I mean, this is so fucking stupid. This is what happens when you have guys have these lawyers that just want to suck you off and claim that this isn't bad, and they're sitting there because they're just basically robbing you for your money. So they're gonna tell you every lie in the world, and that's what they've gotten this dude to be. It's either that or he's just really this fucking dumb to where he thinks that this is how the fucking court system operates.
So essentially, the court decided that I'm a vibe. And my vibes were fucking terrible. So the thing that I learned is, Tectone, stop fucking tweeting. Because my vibes are fucking terrible. And
dude, what? So how you tweet, they automatically assume that you grape people because of how you tweet. So you're telling me that a court system runs off of assumptions. So you're telling me that you had to sign paperwork and turn in weapons because you can't have a gun for 10 years, all because you tweeted some shit. Come on, man. Seriously, bro. Like, you're really, really, really making a stretch there. And I'm talking about you're stretching harder than Michael Jordan did in Space Jam stretch. Like, this is fucking crazy. Like, you really have to think that everybody on your side and all of your fans are that brainwashed and that dumb to think that this is fucking reasonable to believe. Let's look. What is this on his chat? And what we learned is that you were very kinky for the vibes. I deleted it. It's crazy the difference it made. Civil case means I don't like you. Activist judge, one that makes a decision you don't like. That is rigged from the beginning. Okay. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. This is what I mean. Like, this guy he's not even proving anything. Like, he's just spouting words and people are going to sit there and believe him. And he's got this fucking slideshow up, this weeaboo fucking slideshow, but yet he's not pulling anything that's going to disprove that he isn't what he's been claimed to be.
I don't think I've ever been on Twitter and done something where I was like, you know what? I'm going to tweet something that's positively going to affect my life. But yeah, the vibes are fucking off. The vibes are off. All right, so I lost the vibe check. It's true.
In Norient replies, after Me Too, witch hunt, and endless false accusations, there is a reason to question everything.
Not
and
this.
Kitty says, question everything but why he lost in court. The Groiperhole replies to the clip by saying, nope, he failed. This response isn't good enough for me. And I used to be an Egghead fan. Shame he didn't come out with a better response. I'm really struggling to trust gacha hentai anime-loving content creators now, especially after Lakari. It's an obvious pipeline.
True. And for those of you who don't know, like, this man was playing, like, Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves and shit like that. And, you know, man, because I watched him, I gave it a shot. Man, I can't stand those types of fucking games, man. If you don't have, like, ridiculous amounts of money to spend, you're gonna have a shitty time. There was this stream I watched at Tectone where he spent $800 fucking dollars to get poles in Wuthering Waves. And, dude, fuck that. That's a down payment on a car. Not a nice car, but a car.
And Can't Fix Stupid replies, then what do you want him to say? I won the case? Use your brain. He lost and the court was biased against him. What can he do? Tell us what you want him to say then. And Groiperhold replies, what do I want him to say? It's what I want him to stop saying. Stop talking about jerking off to Naruto porn when 90% of the characters were kids for like half the run of the anime. Stop talking about jerking off to hentai when half the content in hentai is SA and the other half is coded PDF shit. Hope that helps. And Completely Lost replies, my man, you got mental issues if you think all hentai is a pipeline to pedophilia. Go see a therapist. Repsion replies to the original clip by saying, I've read all the transcripts. Anyone falling for this is a moron. Emerald Apple says, civil court in a highly biased county with an activist judge. This is, unfortunately, the expected outcome. A man defending himself from allegations is framed as harassment, while a woman making these allegations is framed as empowerment. It's essentially guilty until proven innocent, and you can't use almost all the evidence to prove innocence, because anything that makes the female accuser look bad or non-credible is often inadmissible, depending on the judge. It's upside down clown work.
You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. You have to be kidding me. Wow. This is so fucking crazy to see these people just suck him off like this. It's so crazy, man, to see people just run for them. When 99, well, I can't say 99. I'd say like 90% of the time, when there is some shit like this, it's more than likely gonna be kind of true. And I know everybody sees all these fucking false allegations that pop up and stuff like that. Don't even come at me with that dog shit. I really don't care. I'm just saying, I'm talking about with these content creators. There are some girls that are out there for clout and there are some stuff like this, but you can't sit there and say that when it comes to this Tectone situation because that's not the case. And I mean, I don't know, man. This shit's just so fucking crazy. How he does one stream and all of a sudden there's so many people on his side and people are just standing up for him. And I can almost guarantee that most of these people haven't even looked at the transcripts of what happened. And they're just making these judgments because that they want to be against the court system.
Destiny quote tweets each clip by saying, we'll go over this when I get home since none of the internet lawyers are apparently capable of evaluating anything without being disgustingly partisan to their politics/friends. Basically nothing Rapetone says in this clip is true though. Anthony Wilroth quote tweets the post by saying, brothers straight up made a slideshow with anime girls to explain how getting found civilly liable for SA isn't a big deal really. Beyond fucking parody, holy fuck.
Facts. Like that's just what this is. Like that's exactly what this is. Like, I watched this stream, and he sat there and he played this fucking corny-ass music to sit there and play like all of this is a joke. But it's not a joke. He keeps going on like this. Dude, something's gonna happen. I can almost guarantee you something bad's gonna happen.
Throwaway233 also posts the same clip, and TTBN Gaming quotes it by saying, a civil case is not a vibe check, so this dumbass is off to a bad start. The burden of proof is lowered in civil cases, meaning they rely on a preponderance of evidence, the likelihood of something happening more than not. All he had to do to win was provide enough evidence to counter the plaintiff.
Exactly.
All the people saying, it's just civil, it doesn't count, don't understand that even in a lower court, with lower burdens of proof, this dumbass couldn't produce enough with 5 lawyers. That's how much of a monster he is.
Facts. That's the whole point here. That's my entire point. He had, from what he said, he had so much evidence that this was gonna be an easy win. Because he never did any of this shit. He never did. So he had every bit of proof in the world to show that he didn't do this, but apparently she had more to prove that he is. That's where this is, okay? There is a balance of probability here, okay? You have to be able to give more proof as to why you're innocent over the opposite having to give more proof of why you're guilty. That's how this shit works. The stakes are lower because you don't have the chance of going to jail over it, but they're still going to affect you.
If you say I beat you up and take me to a civil court case and provide pictures of me attacking you, I am supposed to provide evidence of you either provoking me or maybe even myself defending myself from you. The courts see and go, it could go either way, so then you lose. Meaning, in this example, Tectone couldn't even fucking provide the bare minimum evidence to what Pinky brought to make the judge go, maybe he has a point. Like, not even enough to bring a shred of doubt in their minds. They gave him a 10-year protective order. That's insane.
Exactly.
Also, if it was a vibe check, then that means he gives off rancid vibes.
Facts. And yeah, for you to get 10 years like that, she had to have a crazy amount of proof to sit there and be able to slap you with a 10-year protective order. And on top of that, it's not even just a restraining order, like it's above a restraining order. Because I'm pretty sure saying that he can't have any guns, that means he had to relinquish his firearms. And if they catch him with any, or if they catch him within our vicinity, he's going to prison. It's not a crazy thing to understand, but people want to be so brainwashed because it's the court system. They want to sit there and make these claims just because they're against the court system, to sit there and be on his side just because he lost.
Luke Gary posts the clip on the Livestream Fail subreddit, and KJAU replies, "They don't strip you of your second A rights on a vibe check."
Facts.
Comes Razor says, "For a decade in Texas of all places." And
Yes,
God
that's
says,
that's the other thing too. He is in Texas, okay? For a judge in Texas to strip you of your Second Amendment rights, which Texas is one of the most gun-heavy states in the U.S., for them to strip you of your guns, there had to be something there. There had to be something really bad there. That's crazy. I've been to Texas. I know how easy it is to get guns in Texas. I lived there for 5 years. I know how easy it is. And it's a lot easier to get a gun than it is to lose a gun in Texas. So there had to be something that he did that was so bad that the judge said, no, you can't have any weapons in your house. You can't have nothing. You can't go within 1,000 feet of this girl. You cannot do anything.
One I've seen, these protective orders are normally 2 years. The judge viewed him as such a danger, they upgraded it to 10 years, with the option to extend it in 2036. Zrosh replies, "So, did you lose your case?" The judge just wasn't vibing with me. And Flimsy Carpet says, "The judge said I had the vibes of a rapist. I think it was the hat I was wearing." And Oddphone says, "That face when someone is granted a restraining order against you and your Second Amendment rights get removed because vibes." Then he tweets out this clip with the caption, "Tectone addresses Mujin," which we covered in the previous part.
Talk about Mujin. All right. So Mujin put out a crazy fucking Google Doc on me. I'm also going to say I like Mujin. We were very, very, very close friends. Best friends, actually. Yeah, Mujin's just wrong. Yeah, I don't really get it. So he makes some big claims. And I want you to really take note of this. Okay? What was said by Mujin was on January 29th at 2 a.m. And now, why is that important? Why is it important that Mujin said this on January 29th at 2 a.m.? Mujin made a post saying that he read all of the documentation. Mujin, I really hate to break the news to you, but all of the documentation wasn't available until January 29th at 8 p.m. So how the fuck did you read all of the documentation when it wasn't out until 18 hours later? Like, listen, man, I understand you got to save your skin, but you couldn't have read all the documentation because it wasn't out until 18 hours after you typed all that shit. And then...
What the fuck is up with that twitching? Like, I've been noticing this more and more. The more I've started backtracking and looking at some of his videos since I just stopped watching him. And that little like twitch that he does with his mouth and stuff like that, I don't know, man. It seems like a drug thing. I don't know what it is. And then he claims that a doctor lied about his schizophrenia and it's just stress related. Like dude, it's been so fucking crazy listening to the shit that's came out of his mouth since he's been able to get back on stream. It's so stupid listening to him speak. Like, he doesn't think before he opens his mouth. And this has been my problem with Asmongold as well. That's been my main problem with Asmongold as well, is that, like, he'll still talk to people like this, but then he doesn't understand why people are sitting there and coming at him, that this is the company that you keep.
And then you go, and I guess we'll talk about this right now, right? You make this claim. Why did I choose to speak up now? Because protective order court cases are infamously difficult for the victim, especially in the state of Texas. Brother, 77% of them are approved.
That doesn't mean anything. This is a confirmation bias. That's what this is. This is how fucking stupid he is. He thinks that because 77% of them are approved, it just means that every single one of them are false. How dumb do you think your audience is to believe this shit? Like, really? Come on, man. This is a nothing sandwich. Like, bringing this up means absolutely fucking nothing because it doesn't prove that you were just given a protective order, stripped of your Second Amendment rights, and everything just because they felt like approving it. You're fucking dumb.
77%. So Mujan, I don't know if you Googled anything.
You see that
for
Twitch?
5
Hold on.
seconds. Clearly not.
Hold on, let's go back. I'm gonna try and watch him when he tries to get in between, when he pauses in between trying to come up with something. Watch how he twitches. This has to be something like
77%.
Watch this shit.
So Mujan, I don't know.
See
if
that
you
shit?
Googled anything.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Dude. That's so different than Stevie Nicks and they're sucking on his teeth all the fucking time when he's talking. Like, dude, come on, bro.
5 seconds. Clearly not. But dear God, I understand people have to save their skin, but can we not just make up lies as well? Like,
You're making up a lie by bringing up that dumbass statistic to sit there and prove that you are innocent. Like, can you not open your mouth without lying? Like, can we be real here for once?
come on, man. Like,
And look at this shit, El Mugen.
77. I fucked up. 77.
Is Mugen
Anyways,
stupid?
That shit was cringe. It is
El
what it is.
Mugen.
And you know what?
Wait, hold on. Even I knew that without looking it up, and I live in Florida, protective orders have always been easy to receive. No, those are restraining orders, you dumb bitch. Yes, you can easily get restraining orders. Protective orders are not. Like, what are we doing here? Come on, man. This is a clown circling himself with a bunch of fucking clowns. That's what this is. In all reality, that's exactly what this is, because he's not even giving these guys anything to prove his innocence. He's just trying to explain why the process is bullshit to make you think that he's innocent, because he has no real proof to prove that he's innocent. The only thing he can do is strip away your feeling that the court system works correctly. Oh no, it's biased, it's this and that, and that's the only thing he's got. Because if he really wanted to prove his innocence, he could have brought up all of this evidence that he gave his lawyers, thrown it up on screen, and been able to fucking straight up completely nuke whatever type of accusations that he had. But he didn't. He's not going to. You know why? Because he has none. If he had some, any smart person would have done it. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Did he not learn from Turkey Tom? Like, Turkey Tom was accused of some crazy shit, and he had receipts. And he wasn't going to sit there and wait for shit to happen. He just posted it. He made a video and used all of those screenshots as a way to prove his innocence, because that's what you do. Like, what are we doing here?
And I'm not mad. I don't care. It is what it is. Me and Mugen never talked. It doesn't matter.
And Tylen the Ninja replies, notice he doesn't deny any of the accusations. He doesn't flat out say, I didn't SA anyone, only that it's a civil case.
There you go.
You have to prove without a shadow of a doubt SA and stalking happened. Also that the typical PO is 2 years, while he got 10 years, and he had 5 lawyers.
There
and
you go.
Swears White Sox replies, would him denying it solve anything?
It would, because if he really didn't do it, why is he only sitting there and judging the court system? He's not judging the accusation. He's not fighting the accusation. He's only fighting the court system because he's trying to change your mind on how the court system works. That's how he's going to prove his innocence to his fans, because that's the only thing he's got. He doesn't have any legitimate proof. If he had real proof, he would have put it up there. He had all that time to put all these fucking weeboo anime girls in a fucking slideshow, but he didn't have any time to sit there and post any fucking screenshots or photos or evidence, any type of proof to show you that he was wrongfully accused. Come on, dude. Really? Think. Use the fucking space in between your ears. It might be filled with hot air, but you might have a little bit of brain matter in there to be able to come up with a very good thought as to why he's only choosing to fucking go against the court system. That he had it was like 4 hours he live streamed this shit, and the only thing he talked about was the court system. He never discussed the actual accusation or any of that shit. Yet everybody wants to sit there and jump on the tip. That's what this is. He's a content creator and he's this and that, so you have to jump on the tip and you have to sit there and you have to feed into it. No, he's a fucking weirdo. Let's be honest. He's a weirdo with an anime fetish, and he manipulates women, stalks them, and essays them. Let's be real about it. And if you don't like what I'm saying, Tectone, I really don't give a shit. Okay? If you don't like what I'm saying, then make a fucking video and post the proof of why you're innocent. And if you can't do it, then shut your fucking mouth. Stop talking. Never bring it up again. You have 10 fucking years to shut your ass up. Use it wisely. Because if you're gonna keep speaking on it and you're gonna keep doing all this shit and you're gonna keep puffing your chest out like you're the man and you're innocent, bring proof. Real proof. Show people why she's lying. That's simple. But you couldn't do it in front of a judge, so you're not gonna do it in front of your fans. Because you know the proof that you have is completely fucking stupid. If you even have any.
What is the point when you people have made up your mind? And Tylon says, the court documents made up my mind. If his claims do not reflect what happened in court, then he's a liar, which he's already proven multiple times. He then tweets out this clip with the caption, Tectone claims he didn't do anything.
Guys, there was already an 8-month police investigation on me. They found nothing. The case was suspended. I have no criminal charges. I was not convicted of.
Come on, man. I can guarantee you that now, after this protective order got put in place, if she wanted to press charges, she could, and you would be in jail.
Any crime, because I didn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, you did.
So no, I'm not going to jail.
You will. You see that shit, dude? He plays that shit like it's a fucking joke. Come on, dude. What a fucking loser, man. He's such a fucking clown. And these are Asmongold's people. Like, seriously. Come on, bro. Why? As much as I hate Mizkif, dude, you're making me side with Mizkif. And I think Mizkif is a fucking loser, too. He's a clout-hungry fucking loser. But, bro, you got me on his side.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. We're not going to jail.
What a fucking clown, dude.
I'm not in jail. I'm not a fucking criminal because I didn't fucking do anything.
Over on the livestream fail subreddit, Snoo posted this clip with the caption, Chud Logic does not believe that Tectone doesn't care that they took his guns away.
They took my fucking guns. What, dude, I believe in America where we have the Second fucking Amendment. They took my damn guns. Now Mango ain't got nothing to do. But to me, I don't really care.
Yeah, you do. You give a shit. You really do. You really care.
People were telling
Dude.
me that I have like this huge gun collection.
Bro. The cope, dude. The cope is unprecedented, bro. I don't really care. Dude, fuck off, man. Yeah, man. I'm sure I certainly wouldn't care about a fundamental constitutional right being stripped from me.
Exactly. And you know why he doesn't care? It's because he knows he deserves that shit. 100%.
Dude. Bro. You're a rightoid grifter that can't fucking... You have a gun for 10 years, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, too, is him being a right-wing grifter. And in all reality, I believe it. I mean, it's not that hard to see.
I had like 4. I had... And 2 of them didn't even do anything. I had a Vector and an MP5K, and I bought them because they looked cool because they were from PUBG. And then I had a home defense shotgun and a fucking handgun. They're gone. No guns. Feels bad. Can I still play Fortnite?
Dude. Dude. It is incredible, isn't it? Yeah, straight through that. Yeah, I can't go into anymore. Anyway, what about Fortnite? Am I right? Dude. Pivoting straight to the jokes. Bro. Techie. Oh, God, dude. Dude. I knew roughly kind of, I guess, what it was going to be like. But the fact he's got, like, nothing. It's wild how little he's got.
Yeah, it's because he knows that he has no proof. He has no evidence. That's why he's not acting any differently. That's why he's not mad. That's why he's not nothing. He's playing it like it's a fucking joke. Because he thinks it's funny That's basically all he got. Let's be clear. Let's be honest about it, man. Why do you think he's turning this shit into a joke? Because he doesn't care, because he knows he deserves it. If he really was falsely, if he was proven guilty underneath anything like bias or any of that shit, nobody would be this calm and normal. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how stoic you think you are. If you're being wrongly accused of something and you're found guilty, even though you have the evidence to back it up and prove that you're innocent, nobody's gonna be this calm about it. You're gonna be fucking livid. I mean, and if he really felt that way, why hasn't he filed an appeal? Because you can't appeal them to get them removed. He's not gonna do that. You know why? Because he has no fucking proof. Like, come on, man.
Like, the walls have closed in so much that the best he's got is, yeah, they took my guns away, but I don't care. Anyway, Fortnite, am I right? It's like, oh, dude. Damn. That's pretty rough, man.
HLDFSTHPX says, I mean, obviously Tectone would care at least a little that he can't have a gun anymore. Regardless of how you feel about the guy, he is now a walking target for any crazy person who can find him, because they now have a verification that he will be unarmed and unable to defend himself should they try anything.
Yep.
And Sigino says, I'm sure he will still have a handgun, albeit illegal.
Yeah, well, then he'll just get a prison sentence, and then it'll be done and over with.
And Stomper says, even more so that streamers like Destiny are actively calling for the deaths of anyone who doesn't share his political views. Kenny tweets out this clip with the caption, Tectone admitting to viewbotting should bring into question how much the popularity of these based creators is largely inflated by various forms of bots.
Viewbotting 10 to 14,000 viewers extra. And I was like, what the fuck? Hey, bro, there was
See, you hear this music? Listen.
motherfuckers going live on stream saying, yeah, Viewbot, hold up, I gotta send an extra 2,000. Have I dabbled in it? You're goddamn right. I absolutely
Well, we're going to talk about him admitting to viewbotting. That music is what he was playing when he was talking about a lot of this shit, when he was talking about the court case and he was talking about all of this shit, because he thinks that it's funny. He thinks it's a fucking joke. He thinks that it's hilarious that people they're just gonna believe him as long as he plays it like it's funny. This shit's so stupid, man. People are so fucking brain dead.
tried it. Hey, it is what it is.
Bro. Yeah. Everyone does it, guys. Fuck me, dude. This guy's so fucking...
Well, I mean, dude, in all reality, it wouldn't surprise me.
And Sucka Free replies, well, obviously this is clipped to be provocative. He clearly said that he tried it in the past, but no longer does it. Post the whole clip or shut the fuck up.
That doesn't matter. Okay, regardless of whether he doesn't do it anymore, he still did it. So he can't sit there and talk shit about other creators viewbotting when he has when he is just admitted to doing it himself. That's the pot calling the kettle black. In all reality, that's what it is. It doesn't matter if he hasn't done it in 5 years or 10 years or he hasn't done it in 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. He did it. Regardless, he still did it. So he has no room to sit there and talk shit to anybody that's doing it.
Equinox says, you think anyone in the top 50 Twitch streamers hasn't viewbotted at some point? Even Hassan has been caught viewbotting. It's definitely not a partisan
Yeah, true.
thing. And Mike from PA quotes the clip by saying, this is outrageous. Admitting to platform manipulation from botting should be an extended ban.
Dude, Mike from PA is such a fucking clown.
At Twitch, this is absurd. And Hassan replies, it's not like he's being anti-Israel, so there's no need. The Archive Kid tweets out this clip with the caption, schizophrenia healed. During his first stream back, Tectone announces that
This is what I was talking about. Yeah, this is fucking insane.
he saw a psychiatrist, and that they confirmed he does not have schizophrenia, contrary to what he had believed and what he said under oath in his recent court case. Tectone say he is going to continue seeing the psychiatrist for as long as they feel it necessary, and that this previous misdiagnosis was due to anxiety, childhood trauma, and bad eyesight.
Okay, let's be clear. If you're schizophrenic, you're put on medication. Heavy medication. In all reality, if he got diagnosed with schizophrenia and now another psychologist is telling him that he doesn't, any sane person, any normal person in the world would go get a third opinion. And if it's one or the other, then you sue the opposite. So if he goes and gets a third opinion and says, no, dude, you don't have schizophrenia, I don't think you ever had it. Then you go sue the fucking doctor that said that you did. And medicated you for all of those years. That's what you do. But he's not going to do that shit either. But it's just so convenient. You know, now that he's out of the court case and now all of this shit's taken care of and all this shit's done, now he doesn't need that mental illness anymore. Like, come on, man. And that's the other thing too that just hit me. Okay? You had all this proof you have a no mental illness that's on paper, but yet you still lost because you didn't have enough proof. Fucking crazy.
And I guess in case you guys don't know, when I was 19, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia in New Mexico State University. The meeting was very quick. It was very brief. I went in with my dad. I kind of said, hey, sometimes I see things that aren't there. And they said, you're schizophrenic. They gave me medicine. I took those medicines and they made me a zombie.
Dude, oh my God, man. I'm gonna cry. This shit's so fucking dumb, dude. I'm gonna get angry. I'm gonna get fucking angry. How are you this stupid? Fuck, man. Good God. Oh. What kind of fucked up world do we have to live in where this is gonna be believed? Nobody can just diagnose you with schizophrenia without doing any real research. Brain scans, all this types of shit. They have to do a whole bunch of shit. You want to know why I know this? Because my 10-year-old son has autism and ADHD, and you know what they did? They spent 5 months testing him over and over and over again, doing brain scans, behavioral therapy, all this other shit to determine what he had before they put him on medication. That's what doctors do. So you're telling me that you walked into a doctor's office, talked with a doctor, was in and out, and you were instantly diagnosed with that mental illness, and you were given medication, and you willingly took it. This is the dumbest shit I've heard in my life. This is the dumbest shit I've heard in my life, man. I can't believe that I'm listening to somebody this fucking stupid. I don't get it. And he's in his 30s now, so you're telling me that you've been taking schizophrenia medication for over 10 years, and you didn't bother to question it not one fucking time if it was false, but all of a sudden, you finish your court case, you go see another psychologist, and then all of a sudden, you don't have it anymore. So either you're a liar, and you paid somebody to give you a diagnosis, which is medical fraud, or you're just stupid. I don't know what it is. I think I do know what it is. I think he's just fucking stupid. I think he is really that fucking stupid.
I went to a psychiatrist yesterday, and I'll try to provide some documentation for this at a later date whenever I receive it. Guys, I'm not schizophrenic.
At a later date. Okay. Does he not understand now with the way shit works? He can get that paperwork the next day? Like, what does he think he has to do? He thinks he has to call the psychiatrist to fucking get the paperwork? No. It's in a portal, and it's there, and it sits there, because that's how medical documentation is handled nowadays.
The psychiatrist believes the reason why I see things that aren't there, mainly, at night, is due to the fact that I got stabbed in my left eye, and my right eye is normal. And so they believe that my eyeballs are causing me to temporarily hallucinate things that aren't there because they're not signaling my brain properly. And what they believe that I have is anxiety with bad vision as well as unresolved childhood trauma.
This is so fucking dumb, man. This is so stupid. Why? Why is this what he believes? I don't understand, dude. You have one differing opinion, and all of a sudden that's the truth. You don't go get a third. You know what that's called in the medical world? When you have a diagnosis and then another doctor says you don't have a diagnosis, that's called a false positive, you dipshit. You know what you do? You get a third fucking opinion. And in all reality, if you don't believe that third opinion, you get a fucking fourth. You run the gambit and you try to get as much information as possible to make an informed judgment on what you're doing. You don't just blindly believe anybody with a fucking medical degree because mistakes can be made. You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. This dude was allowed to own fucking weapons.
So I was going there, unironically, and I'm trying not to get emotional, because I thought there actually might be something wrong with me. And so I was going to actually try to get medicated. They said I do not require medication. So I guess I am just a human with anxiety.
Okay, so if he has anxiety and they say he doesn't need a medication, then he's fucking stupid. Because you know what they give people that have anxiety, that are diagnosed with anxiety, with an anxiety disorder? They give you Xanax. So them saying that you don't need medication is completely false. Because if your anxiety is so bad to the point where you're seeing things, then yes, you need to be on medication. So this guy's a fucking dumbass. He's fucking stupid.
Anxiety, unresolved childhood trauma, and eyes that don't communicate too well to my brain.
Dude, I don't know. No, don't look it up. Let's just assume
we can't have
facts.
I don't
here.
want that
I
information.
don't want facts.
Top had Bor reply.
But yeah, he can see everything in the chat perfectly as it's flying at 100 miles an hour. This guy's so fucking stupid, man.
You didn't include the part where he saw another psychiatrist way back where he did diagnose him with schizophrenia and gave him meds that turned him into a zombie. I know, including that would not have worked for Engagement Farm. Hope this helps. In the
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean shit.
Archive Kid replies, I accept all forms of criticism. I guess my question would be, what context do you think that adds? And Top Hat Bor replies, I suppose he can play horror games, lol. Either way, why would he lie to begin with, just to say that he's no longer considered a schizo? What would he gain from this?
What do you mean, what would he gain from this? That mental illness probably played a big pivotal role in that court case. I mean, all mental illness plays in a giant factor when you're dealing with a lot. Dude, all that shit makes a difference. Regardless of what you think, it makes a difference. There's a lot of things to consider when you have a mental illness like that.
And the Archive Kid says, in my personal opinion, what I believe happened is that Tectone made up this lie long before the court case, and it's something that he's been running with for a long time. I do not doubt that he has a childhood trauma or anxiety.
Facts.
I also don't doubt he saw a psychiatrist as a kid.
Facts.
I just know you don't walk into a psychiatrist's office and get diagnosed with schizophrenia after a single-hour session.
Exactly. Does not happen. It's impossible. And if they do that, then you are owed millions of dollars, because you could sue that fucking practice into the ground and live off that money forever. That's why they can't do that shit, because that's malpractice. They can't just set you up on medication like that without having any real proof. Because in all reality, if you don't have what you're diagnosed with and they give you that type of medication, you could die, and then they become liable. So they have to do their due diligence. They have to make sure that what they're doing is correct. Because if something bad happens to you because of a false diagnosis, they're screwed. And I don't give a shit how much money you pay them. Well, no, let's not say that, because I'm almost completely sure that I am wrong with saying that. But everybody has a line. But I can almost guarantee you the money that Tectone has, he does not have enough money to have doctors cross the line to where they're going to lose their license and lose their practice and lose everything. All so that way he could be treated differently because he's got schizophrenia. Unless he found like a mom and pop doctor that's down on their luck and their practice is about to close. So he gave them enough money to keep their place afloat just as long as they signed the paperwork saying that he has this mental illness. I don't know. But I think it's kind of crazy how you can get a diagnosis in 1 hour when my son has ADHD and has autism, and it took us it was pretty much half a year before he was put on medication, because they needed to make sure that before they put him on this medication that he has what he has, because the medication could ultimately cause him to not be around anymore. And that's what it is. That's like getting misdiagnosed with ADHD and you're giving Ritalin, which is basically, if you don't have it and people are giving you Ritalin, then you're basically getting cocaine for free. You're getting speed for free by a doctor. And the medication's covered by your insurance and you don't have to pay a dime for it. So you're just getting free drugs. You're not understanding the implications of what could happen over misdiagnosis.
And lol. I think in court, he continued that lie because either it felt inconsequential or because he's convinced himself that it's true. I do believe that he saw a psychiatrist yesterday, like he says. This is all speculation, of course, which is why I just made a tweet about what we actually know. I'm sure if the court wanted to, they could request medical records to confirm whether or not Tectone lied under oath about that, but I find it highly unlikely that they will. But I don't feel like any of this really answers the question of what context would mentioning the medications the childhood psychiatrist gave him as a kid add to the tweet.
But he wasn't a kid. He was 19. He just said that he was 19.
To the original post, MEOK quote tweets it by saying, "It was my first time meeting him in person. I had said something like, yeah, I felt schizo in conversation, and Tectone said, never say that. I actually have schizophrenia and that word is like a slur. Then after 3 drinks, he called my friend an F-slur in Dave & Buster's. Taz replies, so he can call people artard and I can go, hey, I'm autistic and that word is like a slur. And then he'll call me a pussy for it. But this happens with schizo? I have the Squidward I'm not amused face on right now." Harmful Opinions makes an independent post with this clip in the caption, "When you get stabbed in the eye as a kid, so you see demons in the road that sometimes can be driven through and other times turn out to be deer."
Oh, by the way, Chad, I didn't tell you, I almost died the other day. I saw this demon in the middle of the road. And I thought it was my hallucinations as normal. So I was going to drive through it like I always do. But it was like a deer. And so I just fucking slammed the brakes giga hard. I stopped like 3 inches away from it.
What the dude, this is, well, that tweet's kind of true. I mean, like, why was he allowed to have guns? If you're a diagnosed schizophrenic, how the hell were you allowed to get weapons?
Block replies, "So if we are to believe that this was a misdiagnosis and not just a blatant lie, either way, Tectone would drive headlong past his delusions or hallucinations, even if they are, in fact, a real person or thing. I wonder if he's thought this way before losing his firearms." And Harmful Opinions says, "I mean, this is from 2024. Who knows how many demons he's slain?" Not Uncle Pepperoni replies to the clip by saying, "Why is he allowed to drive if he is seeing hallucinations he thinks he can just drive through?" And Griff replies, "When I'm hallucinating in a car, instead of pulling over and coming to my senses, I try to hit the hallucination with my car, and I'm comfortable with this enough to admit it on stream." Quote from a person who should absolutely have a driver's license.
Yeah,
He then tweets out this
exactly.
clip in the caption, "Tectone addresses Mizkif and accuses him of farming Rexful's death."
Mizkif continues to say that I have 5 fucking lawyers. Okay? Dude.
Yeah, I hate that. I watched the stream and I really hate that he had this music playing the entire fucking time because I was getting angry listening to this shit.
Dude, this motherfucker Mizkif got his homie Axion to follow me to court and then take a photo of me leaving the trial just so he could have content for the day.
That's not all he did. He sat in the courtroom and took notes of the entire thing as it happened.
Which reminds me, and this is some real shit, if you think that's the weirdest thing that Miz has ever done, hire a guy to follow me to court to take a photo of me walking out with, by the way, you can see from that photo that I have one lawyer, Joffrey, and the other one is one of his friends, and then it was the chick who writes the notes.
Yeah, I'm really starting to hate myself for watching this because this is really starting to anger me.
Everybody who I had one lawyer, guys, relax. Then I had my Jew lawyer, but he wasn't involved. That's probably, you would think that's like the most weird thing, right? You would think that's the weirdest thing. But you know what's even weirder? If you think that's like the weirdest thing Miz has ever done for content, wouldn't it be even weirder if Miz drove to see how Reckful killed himself? That way he could farm his death for views.
Like, come on, dude. Come on, bro. The stream's about you and you trying to sit there and discuss everything, but yet it all comes back to Mizkif. It always does.
Do? Wouldn't that just be weird as shit? I don't know. That's just what I heard, man. Little weird. The guy, in case you can't tell, is a little bit fucked up. Hey, that's just what I heard. Allegedly. That's just what I heard.
What a fucking
Allegedly.
clown, man.
Bro was mad because Recco had a crush on his girl, so he had to go farm his death for views.
This is what they do. Tectone can sit there and he can act like he's not Miskiff, but he is Miskiff. He's one-to-one Miskiff. They are both the same. They are both sitting there farming each other for views, like the fucking clowns that they are. Like, Miskiff's just as much of a clown, but Tectone's no different. Like, him coming back was supposed to be about him addressing everything, but yet now all of a sudden, now he's making accusations to Miz, but, I mean, dude, it's so fucking dumb, man. This is childish shit, dude.
Little bit insane, but I don't know. That's just what I heard. I don't know, man. That's just what I heard. All right, cool.
Couldn't think of a name says, I don't care if you hate Tectone or not, but thinking Miskiff is a good person in comparison is just retarded. Slow Mango says, I have 5.
It's not that. I don't think Miskiff is a good person. I think he's a piece of shit too. Between the shit that happened with Slick and Adriana Lee and him trying to cover that shit up to now this shit with Emiru, like, Miskiff is a piece of shit human being. He's a clout demon, and he's a fucking loser. But it doesn't change anything. They're both equally stupid. They're both the same amount of loser. It's just one's a little bit hated more than the other at the moment. So it is what it is.
5 lawyers, still lost after months of prep. And Grizz replies, you didn't watch it, did you? Be honest. And Slow Mango says, did you? Attaching this clip from Harmful Opinions where he says, here's a clip of Tectone claiming repeatedly to keep a team of 5 lawyers on hand. In his stream addressing the case, he says he has no idea why he'd ever say such a thing, starting to get the impression he's a compulsive liar.
Yeah, he is. It's not that hard to figure out, man. He really is. He's just a liar, and that's all he has been, and that's all he's ever gonna be.
I have a team of 5 lawyers. I have a team of 5 lawyers because I understand that I'm a hated person on the internet.
And this is out there, and his fans have seen this shit. But yeah, now he makes that one stream and try to say, I never said I had 5 lawyers. I've never had 5. Fucking losers, man. All of you people that sit here and you watch this clown and you just take everything that he says as gospel without even looking back, you're brainwashed, man. Come on, dude. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to figure out. It's not that hard to sit there and look at it.
And anybody can come.
I knew this, and I was watching Tectone around this time, and I remember this. So when I saw this stream and him sit there and try to debunk that he didn't have 5 lawyers, it's like, bro, it came out of your mouth. You said it. Nobody accused you of having it. Nobody accused you of having 5 lawyers. You said you did. That's what's irritating.
About crying, say bullshit. Nobody will fact check it, and if they do that, I'm going to sue their ass. It's that easy. So I have an on-hand team of 5 lawyers as a controversial thing.
And that's the other thing, too. He's claiming that the shit that's been said about him has been false. But having all those lawyers, and somebody that's so willing to sue somebody for saying some wrong shit about you, why haven't you sued Miskiff? Well, I know why you didn't sue Pinky, because you've already been proven wrong in that case. But why haven't you sued Miskiff? Oh, is it maybe because he's saying some true shit about you? I mean, really?
Figure on the internet.
The Truth Speaker replies to Harmful Opinions clip by saying, that was like 1 or 2 years ago. Things can change over a period of time. Also, he is generally speaking here. He explains he has around 1 or 2 for this case now. Why does it matter if it's a 5 specifically? Maybe not all 5 are on this case. He has other stuff going on.
This is the type of fucking dumb speak that the people that just suck him off do.
And Harmful Opinion says, when your claim is to have never done or had something, as he stated in his stream, the age of a contradictory claim is irrelevant. Plus, he's painting the claim as baseless, when he himself is the source. Very difficult to follow casually because he is so scattershot, to be fair. The 5 lawyers in and of itself isn't the issue, in other words. Yi then tweets out of this clip with the caption, Tectone's closing statements after the loss in court.
This will be my one and only comment, and then I am moving forward for the rest of my life.
We'll see about that.
Okay? I'm going to say one comment. Obviously, I have to be very careful with what I say. addressing the elephant in the room, I lost the civil case. I did. That sucks. Didn't go the way I wanted, is what it is. But I do genuinely want to respect the court's decision.
No, you don't.
At this point, I'm not sure what route I want to take from here, but I believe even though I lost the case, I do believe that this still gets me to where I want to go, which is for all parties to simply move on. That's pretty much all I want, is for everybody to go their separate ways, to be able to move on and find solace and peace in their life.
Oh, brother, man, this guy stinks. Ugh. Had to stretch, man. This shit's so fucking dumb.
I want everybody to find peace and solace and just to move on.
Okay, you were found guilty in a protection order hearing about being a stalker. You want to know the one thing you couldn't do was? Move on, my guy. Fucking A, man.
Genuinely.
What kind of drug-addled
I
shit is
understand
that?
that things are going to be an uphill battle for a while, and that's okay. But I will say, I do want to respect the court's decision. Do I think the American justice system has failed me? Yes.
No, it hasn't.
And I do believe in an America where consent cannot be retracted 1 year later. However, at the end of the day,
Okay. Oh, you still haven't disputed the stalking claim. Let's hear about that.
I want to move forward with my life. And so I am going to admit that I fucked up. I should not have tweeted that much.
Dude,
Straight
fuck
up.
off.
I
Fuck
think
off.
I should not have tweeted that much.
You fucking loser. You didn't lose because of your Twitter. You didn't lose because you tweeted too much. You lost because there was proof that you did it, and you didn't have enough proof to prove that you didn't do it. Let's be real here, dude. Come on, man. Why? Here's the thing that most content creators just fail to fucking realize. If they actually did some real thinking behind this, if they just came out, admitted what they did, admitted that they were in a weak place in their life, and they made a giant mistake, and they were going to do the best that they can from this point forward to fix what they done, it would be different. Every single person wants to sit there and act like they're the victim. And this shit's so stupid. You get on, keep your video under 3 fucking minutes because nobody wants to listen to the fucking peanut gallery. Get on for 3 minutes, say, hey man, I lost, I fucked up. And apparently the proof that she had was more than the proof that I had. So I was found guilty. So apparently I was doing some things that I didn't really see that were there. That easy. But you want to sit there and act like the court system failed you and everything like this. Dude, fuck off. Fuck off, man. You had a lawyer on a retainer. This isn't a fucking public defender. You paid this fucking dude to do his due diligence, and he couldn't even fucking defend you. Get fucking real, man. Get real. Like, be honest.
I was tweeting like crazy. I hope people can understand why I was tweeting that much. But at the end of the day, I should have practiced self-control.
What does he think that this is? Like the Boston bomber situation? Like, he thinks that his Twitter is the ultimate cause of his downfall. If that was the case, man, there would be a lot of people in trouble for what they post on Twitter. I mean, come on, man.
I fucking got out of hand. This shit consumed my fucking brain, and it sucked, the things that I was being called. So I tweeted a lot. Going forward.
No, what sucks is that you can't act like a grown human being about this. That's what sucks. Okay? What sucks is you think that you deserve all the slack in the world when it comes to this. But then if you turned and you looked at Miskiff, you would expect people to dogpile his ass for the things that he's done. But you deserve grace. Like, dude, this is the childish fucking kindergarten speak. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, you gotta believe me. No, he didn't. This is the shit that we're on. This is the shit that we're on. It's a bunch of 5-year-olds claiming to be fucking adults that are saying they're just pointing the finger at each other, and nobody is willing to take accountability for the shit that they do.
Just like not going to tweet, like barely at all. I uninstalled Twitter. I'm not going to tweet a single time for another week. But I
Oh
think
my God.
what I learned is I need to stop fucking tweeting so much. And boys, let's just move the fuck on. And to my lawyers, sorry, I should have shut the fuck up. And that's it.
And Black Cat replies, I watched the full stream, and he effectively hit on every single break the glass strategy. Rightward grifting, deflection, muddying the waters, manipulated faux empathy for his haters, and a forced front of positivity. His audience will absolutely buy it, and he will recover. Can't Fix Stupid
Facts.
replies to the clip by saying, I don't know what more he can say. I don't know what were people expecting. The court was pro-woman and had an activist judge overruling it.
How do you know that?
He lost the moment the allegations dropped years ago anyway.
How do you know that? Let's go back and look at the previous tweet. Let's check it out.
Clip by saying, muddying the waters,
In a forced front of positivity, his audience will absolutely buy it and he will recover. This whole tweet right here is the perfect description of what he's been doing since he got back online.
manipulated faux empathy for his haters, and a forced front of positivity. His audience will absolutely buy it, and he will recover. Can't
Exactly.
Fix Stupid replies to the clip by saying, I don't know what more he can say. I don't know what were people expecting. The court was pro-woman and had an activist judge overruling it.
Who cares if it was pro-woman and an activist judge? Who cares? You don't know what more he could say? I don't know. Maybe take accountability for the shit that you did. The only thing he took accountability for was his Twitter, which he thinks was his downfall, which is probably the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
He lost the moment the allegations dropped years ago anyway. Arthur A. Abbott quotes the post by saying, I don't think it was the tweets that got you, lil bro. It was probably the dozen cases of rape you committed that did it. Throwaway233 also posts the clip saying Tectone issues final statement on his lost court case, and it replies, the rapist wants to simply move on. Color me shocked.
Yeah.
Mike from PA quotes the post by saying, the reason why Tectone constantly talks about tweeting too much is that the victim who won the case against him presented over 200 pages of threats, blackmail, and harassment to the courts as evidence. And Stray replies, person commits crime. Person. The justice system has failed me. And
Exactly.
From one replies, weird. If he committed a crime, why is he not tried for said crime? Any thoughts or just head empty?
Because it was a civil case, you stupid bitch. It was a civil case. You can't get charged criminally in a civil case. Now, if Pinky wanted to, she could press charges on him and get him arrested and take him back to court for a criminal case. She could. In all reality, she could. I mean, she won the protective order. So she has all right to turn around and she could sit there and try to charge him criminally for this stuff. And I mean, in what reality does somebody have to be put in handcuffs and somebody being in jail automatically mean that they're guilty? Because I can point to you that there are hundreds, possibly thousands of people that are in the United States criminal system, in jails all across the country, that have been falsely accused, that have been falsely arrested, that have been falsely convicted, and it's all over the place. So why do you just deem because he walks free that means he's innocent when there are people that are locked up that are really innocent, but they were proven guilty? I mean, it's not very difficult math here.
And Mike says, it's being investigated. The victim went after a protective order first because they is the fastest procedure you can do in court to get extra protection from the police from a stalker or abuser. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives, Kiko, Salsal, Dakota's Bandito, Captain Crash Out, Papa Gut, and Dear Boy. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Well, I just gotta say, man, I think Tectone fucked up big time. I think he made a very big mistake. I'm not even gonna call it a mistake. He messed up really bad. And I think the only way that Tectone's ever going to get any type of slack in this whole situation is if he takes accountability for what he did. He would have to full on admit that he essayed the girl and that he stalked her. But I don't even know if he can recover from that. I don't know. I don't know. I think him still maintaining his platform and people are still going to his streams after all this is crazy to me, but I'm not going to speak on anybody else on what they believe what happened. I'm just I'm just seeing it with my own two eyes. As a father who my ex has been dragging me in and out of court over child support and things like that, I've seen how biased the court system is geared towards women. But I'm never gonna sit there and just believe that if my ex decided to get a protective order put on me, that they're just automatically gonna believe her because she's a woman. It just doesn't make any sense to me, and it's never gonna make sense to me. Because the only time I've ever gotten in trouble, because I have been arrested before, the only time I've ever gotten in trouble for things is from things that have been proven that I did. I mean, I've had court cases thrown out. I would show up to court. I did all the work. I had to skip work for a day to show up there, be there for 10 fucking minutes, and then a judge say, nope, this isn't even worth it. You're free to go. And then let me go. Even when my ex is sitting there foaming at the mouth trying to get something done to me, they still let me go. I mean, I don't think that the court system is as biased as Tectone wants to sit there and brainwash you into believing. I think there is some bias, but I don't know. But anyways, that's all I got, man. If you liked the video, then click that thumbs up. It means a lot if you subscribed. I mean, I'm almost at 40 subs. I'm trying to get to 100 by April, so it would mean a lot if you did. And leave a comment down below. If you have any differing opinions on Tectone, I'm thinking about doing a debate on Tectone on stream. So if anybody is willing to do that, then comment down below and let me know, and we can set it up. And also, I'm also making a long form video on the ABBA and Sneeko debate. It's just a 4-hour stream, and it's a lot of notes that I've been taking. So I'm having to revise to try and get it as small as possible without me making a 3-hour video on it. So, but anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.